9th, 2024 started like any other day in South Korea, but a tragedy was about to happen. Jeju Air Flight 7C2216, a Boeing 737-800, was flying from Bangkok, Thailand to Muan International Airport. It had 175 passengers and 6 crew members on board. This ordinary flight would soon become South Korea's worst aviation accident in many years. The plane crashed while trying to land, taking the lives of all 179 people on board. The news shocked the entire country, leaving everyone in deep sorrow. Jeju Air Flight 7C2216 took off from Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok with clear skies. It was a popular flight for tourists and business travelers, and no one expected any problems. Passengers got comfortable for the journey, not knowing the tragedy that awaited them. The crew, known for their experience and good reputation within Jeju Air, stayed in contact with air traffic control as the Boeing 737-800 flew towards its destination. The first few hours of the flight were normal, giving no sign of the disaster that was about to happen.
Jeju Air Flight 7C2216. Be careful. There's a possible bird strike in your area. Please be cautious as you approach.
As Flight 7C2216 got closer to Muan International Airport, a feeling of worry grew in the cockpit. Air traffic control issued a bird strike warning, telling the pilots about the possible danger. Bird strikes, while not unusual, can be very dangerous for planes, especially during critical moments like landing. The warning made the crew anxious as they acknowledged the message and prepared for any potential problems. The pilots, relying on their training, started going through emergency procedures, their concentration increasing with every second.
Mayday, Mayday, this is Jeju Air Flight 7C2216. We have a serious problem. Landing gear failure, attempting emergency landing.
Despite the bird strike warning, disaster struck quickly. The crew of Flight 7C2216 made a mayday call, their voices filled with urgency, showing a terrible situation on board. The landing gear, very important for a safe landing, didn't come down. The pilots, fighting against failing systems and running out of time, tried to make an emergency landing. The plane, scraping against the runway, went off course and hit a concrete barrier. The impact shook the plane violently, followed by a deafening roar as the plane burst into flames. The crash of Flight 7C2216 caused terrible destruction.
Emergency teams rushed to the crash site, battling the fire and desperately looking for anyone who might have survived.
Sadly, 179 people died, including 173 South Koreans, 2 Thai citizens, and all 4 crew members. The news brought great sadness and disbelief to South Korea and the world.
Amidst the immense loss, there was a glimmer of hope. 2 of the 6 crew members miraculously survived the crash and were immediately taken to a local hospital for urgent medical care. Their survival, against all odds, offered a beacon of hope in the face of unimaginable tragedy.
As the nation mourned, investigators arrived at the crash site. The scene was chaotic, with debris scattered over a wide area. The investigators, clad in their protective gear, moved methodically through the wreckage, documenting every piece of evidence they could find. Their job, to carefully reconstruct what happened to Flight 7C2216. This was no easy task. The team had to sift through twisted metal, charred remains, and personal belongings, all while maintaining the integrity of the evidence. A team of experienced experts using advanced equipment began their difficult work. They employed cutting-edge technology, including drones for aerial surveys and 3D scanners to create detailed maps of the crash site. They quickly focused on the plane's black boxes, the flight data recorder, and the cockpit voice recorder. These devices are crucial in any crash investigation. The flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder. These devices, often referred to as the black boxes, are designed to withstand extreme conditions and provide invaluable data. These devices, built to survive strong impacts, held vital information. They are encased in hardened steel and are capable of withstanding intense heat and pressure. That could explain the final moments of the flight. The data from these recorders would be meticulously analyzed to piece together the sequence of events leading up to the crash.
Recovering these black boxes is crucial. The process is delicate and requires precision to ensure the data is not compromised. They can give us detailed information about how the plane was working. Every switch, every dial, every control movement is recorded, providing a comprehensive picture of the aircraft's performance. and what the crew did in the last moments of the flight. The cockpit voice recorder captures the conversations and sounds within the cockpit, offering insights into the crew's actions and decisions.
With these tools, investigators hope to solve the mystery. The data from the black boxes would be cross-referenced with other evidence to build a complete picture of the flight's final moments, and bring some clarity to a grieving nation. The families of the victims and the nation as a whole awaited answers. The investigators' work was not just about finding out what happened, but also about providing closure to those affected by the tragedy. Finding the black boxes was a major step forward for the investigation. These devices, often referred to as the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, are crucial in piecing together the final moments of the flight. They hold vital information that can reveal the sequence of events leading up to the crash, providing investigators with the data needed to understand what went wrong. Early analysis of the flight data recorder suggested that a bird strike might have happened as the plane was landing. This theory emerged from the sudden anomalies in the data, which indicated a possible collision with birds. Such incidents, though rare, can be catastrophic, especially during critical phases of flight like takeoff and landing. This supported the warning given by air traffic control, but investigators warned against jumping to conclusions. They emphasized the importance of a thorough investigation, considering all possible factors that could have contributed to the crash. The team was determined to leave no stone unturned in their quest for answers.
While the data suggests a possible bird strike, we have to consider everything. This includes mechanical failures, human error, and even environmental factors. Each piece of evidence must be meticulously examined to rule out or confirm various theories. The presence of bird feathers near the aircraft remains added weight to the bird strike theory, but it was not definitive proof. We're also looking into whether there was a problem with the plane's landing gear system. Issues with the landing gear can lead to severe complications during landing, potentially causing a crash. The team of engineers and investigators worked together, inspecting every component of the landing gear for signs of malfunction or failure.
Aviation experts, called in for their knowledge, carefully studied the data, searching for any clue that could explain the tragic events. Their expertise in flight dynamics and aircraft systems was invaluable in interpreting the complex data. They looked for patterns, anomalies, and any irregularities that could provide insights into the cause of the crash.
Our goal is to investigate every possibility. We must ensure that we have a comprehensive understanding of all the factors involved. This means not only looking at the physical evidence, but also considering the operational and environmental conditions at the time of the crash. Every piece of evidence, no matter how small, is important in understanding what happened. Tiny fragments of debris, seemingly insignificant, can sometimes hold the key to solving the mystery. The forensic team meticulously collected and analyzed these pieces, knowing that each one could provide a crucial clue in the investigation.
The crash of Jeju Air Flight 7C2216 brought great sadness to South Korea. Flags were lowered to half-mast throughout the country as a sign of respect for those who died. A 7-day period of national mourning was declared, showing how deeply the tragedy affected everyone.
Even the Korean entertainment industry, known for its energy, paused to show respect for the victims and their families. TV channels replaced their regular shows with news coverage and tributes. K-pop agencies postponed new releases and promotional events.
The nation came together in grief, offering condolences and support to those affected by the disaster.
This shared grief shows the strength and unity of the Korean people during such a heartbreaking event.
The crash of Jeju Air Flight 7C2216 reminds us how fragile life is, and the risks that come with air travel. This tragic event has left an indelible mark on the hearts of many, serving as a stark reminder of the unpredictability of life. As we grapple with the enormity of this loss, we are also reminded of the importance of safety and vigilance in the aviation industry. The memories of those who perished will forever be etched in our minds, urging us to strive for a safer future. As the investigation continues, the world waits for answers, hoping to understand what caused this terrible event. The painstaking work of the investigators is crucial in piecing together the final moments of the flight. Every fragment of evidence, every piece of the wreckage holds a clue that could unlock the mystery behind this disaster. The global community stands in solidarity, united in the quest for truth and justice for the victims and their families.
In the meantime, we offer our deepest condolences to the families and friends of those who lost their lives in this tragedy. The pain and sorrow they are experiencing are unimaginable, and our hearts go out to them during this incredibly difficult time. Communities around the world have come together to offer support and comfort, showing that in times of great sorrow, humanity's compassion shines brightest. Memorials and vigils are being held, providing a space for collective mourning and remembrance. The runway at Muan International Airport will be closed until New Year's Day to allow for recovery efforts and further investigation. This closure is necessary to ensure that every possible piece of evidence is collected and analyzed. The airport authorities are working tirelessly to support the investigation, and the recovery teams are dedicated to their mission. The closure also serves as a period of reflection and respect for the lives lost, as the world watches and waits for answers.
Jeju Air and Boeing have promised to fully cooperate with the investigation, hoping to find out what caused the crash and prevent similar tragedies from happening again. Their commitment to transparency and accountability is crucial in restoring public trust. Both companies are reviewing their safety protocols and working closely with aviation authorities to implement any necessary changes. The goal is to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again and that the skies remain safe for all who travel.
In Memoriam Jeju Air Flight 7C2216, December 29, 2024. As we remember the victims, let us also honor their memory by advocating for improved safety measures and supporting the ongoing efforts to uncover the truth. Their legacy will live on in the changes that will undoubtedly come from this tragedy, making air travel safer for future generations. We stand together in grief, but also in hope for a better, safer tomorrow.